Welcome to BioRatna. Dear students, I am Chandana Sengupta and our today's topic of discussion is the properties of genetic code from the chapter Molecular Basis of Inheritance. What is a genetic code? The genetic code, it is sequence of nitrogen bases. It is the sequence of nitrogen bases on mRNA which guides the sequence of amino acids in protein. But the question arises how it does that. Understanding replication and transcription, they are comprehensible, that there exists on the new strand, it always follows a complementarity rule. So we know that if such and such nitrogen bases are present on the parental strand or template strand, then such and such sequence will be present on the new DNA strand or the new mRNA strand. But the mRNA, it is having the nitrogen based sequences and it is guiding the formation of proteins, and proteins are made up of amino acids, and there is no complementarity. There is no complementarity between, there exists no complementarity between the nitrogen bases of mRNA and the amino acids of proteins. So naturally there has to be a third molecule, one coordinator, one mediator, which on one hand it is reading the frame on mRNA, the code on mRNA, and on the other hand it is telling the amino acid, it is holding the amino acid and telling it that yes, this is your position, come here, sit here. But what is that? What is it that the tRNA is reading? This molecule, the third molecule, now we call as tRNA or the adapter molecule, it was discovered at that time also, but at that time its role was not known. Its role in this translation process was not known. It was known by the name soluble RNA. So this tRNA also, again the same question, how? What is it that the tRNA is reading on mRNA, and then it is the amino acids, they go on coming to the site and they are arranged in a proper sequence. Thus we come to the first property of the genetic code, that every codon means that sequence of nitrogen base which is going to translate into one amino acid, वो sequence mRNA में नाइट्रोजन बेस का जो एक अमीनो एसिड को कोड करने वाला है, that is called codon. This codon is a triplet codon. This is a triplet. Every codon is a triplet codon, and this codon, for it, the complementary bases are present in that tRNA, that coordinator molecule, and this tRNA has the complementary nitrogen bases which are called anticodon. So understood? Now, though there is no complementarity between the nitrogen bases of mRNA and the amino acids, but this mediator molecule, it has the complementary bases to the codon. एक साइड में वो codon को read करता है कि हाँ, what it is writing. Then the codon is signaling कि okay, I am very specific and I am going to translate into only this amino acid. Then this tRNA, when after reading the codon, it then guides amino acid that here is your place and here you have to sit. And once the work is done, then the tRNA vanishes from the site. Once the work is done, once it reads the anticodon, once it keeps the amino acid in proper position, then it vanishes. And this everything was possible because of the codon on the mRNA. The first property of genetic code, which says that the codons are triplet. Here I have written this one, codons are triplet. So there are 64 codons. There are how many? There are 64 codons, out of which 61 they code for amino acids. 61 they code for amino acids. What about the rest 3? What about the rest 3? They do not code. These 3, they do not code for any amino acids, and they are called stop codons. These are called the stop codons. These stop codons, they are UAA, UAG and UGA. Thus, we have seen the first property of the genetic code, that its codons are triplet. They are 64 in number, out of which 61 they code for amino acid, and 3 codons they do not code for any amino acid, and they also have very significant role in translation, and they are called the stop codons, which are UAA, UAG and UGA. Isn't it very interesting? Now let us come to the other properties of the genetic code, which are equally interesting. Now we come to the second property of the genetic code. It is the codons, they are very specific. They are very specific, that is, they are unambiguous. What do we mean by that? They are very specific, means each codon will code for only one amino acid. One means that specific amino acid only. There are 20 amino acids. You know that there are 20 amino acids, whereas there are 61 codons. Fine. Now first we are seeing the specificity of the codons. Every codon will code for a specific amino acid. It will code for a specific amino acid out of the 20. 20 में से कोई एक को ही वो कोड करेगा. Take one example. For example, it is, if it is UUU, if it is UUU, this codon, it will always code for phenylalanine. This will always code for phenylalanine and no other amino acid. Simple. This property is very simple. One codon will always code for a specific amino acid and no other. Now, next question which you can ask, which will automatically come to your mind, is that, but the codons are 61 in number and the amino acids are 20. So how 61 codons are coding for only 20 amino acids? The answer here also is simple. The code is degenerate. Code is degenerate. Don't get afraid of the name degenerate. What does it mean? Let us see. It simply means that more than one codon can code for a single amino acid. मतलब phenyl UUU, it will always code for phenylalanine, but there may be some other codon which will also code for phenylalanine. So code is degenerate. This means more than one codon. More than one codon can code for the same amino acid. It can code for same amino acid. We will take few examples. Fine. For example, take the example of this phenylalanine only. UUU and UUC. These both code for phenylalanine. Now let us take the example of arginine. Let us take the example of arginine. This arginine, it is coded by 6 codons, 6 different types of codons. What are they? See, CG, 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 CG. 4 times I have written. Then UCAG. Another AG, AG. Then this is U and C. Okay. All these 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, they code for the same one, that is arginine. Let us take another example. The example of the villain of sickle cell anemia. As many times as you take the same example, it will be a revision for you. So, valine code on mRNA which codes for valine, that you already know. See here, the valine, it is coded by GU. I have written 4 times GU, GU, GU. Then UCAG. All these fours, they code for valine. So you see that codons are specific. Codons are specific. This was the second, the first property which we have seen, that is a codon is a triplet one. The second one which we saw, it is a codon is specific. Third one which we have seen, it is that a code is degenerate. Degeneracy means more than one codon coding for the same amino acid. This much very simple. Next property is that the genetic code, it is read in contiguous manner. It is read in a contiguous manner. That means continuous manner. What do we mean by that? Let us take these sequences present on mRNA. UUU, AUC, CAG, GAU and so on. Suppose this is 5'N, a segment we have picked up. Then this first 3, we already know that a codon is a triplet one. So this first 3, they are going to code for first amino acid. First amino acid. Then it is not so that this second, third and fourth, that is UUA, are going to be the next codon. No. They do not overlap. They do not overlap. So the next codon will be AUC. So this is the second, it will code for second amino acid, this for the third amino acid and this for the fourth amino acid. That means they do not overlap. You must have noticed that there is no comma full stop in between. Like after this UUU, which is coding for one amino acid, this A is not acting as a comma. No. It is, this A is part of the next codon. So there is no comma or full stop. Fine. Next property. The fifth property, this is that the genetic code is universal. Nowadays, now you won't be surprised, but it was a big surprise when we found out it. For the human beings, this was a big surprise at first, because we think ourselves as someone very superior. So all the codons, they are same in plants or animals, and if we think of ourselves as something very superior, specially created, then the human beings, then the microbes, everyone is having the same genetic code, same codons coding for the same amino acid. This shows that everyone, that means whether it is plants, whether they are animals, including human beings, whether they are the microbes, all have everywhere the genetic code is same. Same codon codes for same amino acid. For example, UUU will code for phenylalanine in everyone. This is the rule that the genetic code is universal. Now let us see the role of methionine, the last property given in your NCERT. Now we are going to see the role of the codon AUG. Role of AUG, this codon. It has dual function. It has dual function. The first one is that it is the initiator codon. It is initiator codon. Initiator codon means it is the first codon. If this is the mRNA and this is its 5' and 3' end, then the first codon towards the 5' end is always AUG. So this is the initiator codon and it has to code for some amino acid. Its another function is it codes for the amino acid methionine. It codes for the amino acid methionine. Done? So all the properties of genetic code you have seen. Now let us solve some problems based on the properties of genetic code. Now let us take up few problems based on the properties of genetic code. The first problem. What properties of genetic code are shown below? Fine. Read this one. AUG coding for methionine, UUU phenylalanine, GUU valine, UUU phenylalanine, UUC phenylalanine, GUU valine. What properties you can see here? The first, all the list is there. Which property you can see in this one? First one which you can observe that these are all triplet codons. All of these are triplet. So the first one is they are the triplet. The codons are triplet. Fine. Come to the next. See, here UUU, wherever UUU comes, it only and only codes for phenylalanine. That means it is very specific. So the next property is the codon is very specific. Another point. Here you see this UUC is coding for phenylalanine and UUU is also coding for phenylalanine. That means there is no autonomy for this UUU that only I am going to code phenylalanine. So this property where more than two codons code for the same amino acid, it is called degeneracy. So the codon is degenerate. Fine. Next, it is read in contiguous manner. Yes, it is read in contiguous manner. AUG के बाद कोई comma नहीं है, full stop नहीं है, कोई overlapping नहीं है. Then you first three form one codon, next three forming next codon, next three forming next codon. It is read in this fashion. That means the next one also you take that it is read in contiguous manner. Universal. Universal cannot be shown here ना. It is shown only one strand of mRNA. यहाँ पे अलग अलग organisms का करके आपको नहीं दिया हुआ है. So that is not shown here. But the last one, that is the methionine AUG, it is the first initiator codon. So AUG is initiator and codes for methionine. These are the properties which are shown by this strand of given mRNA. That it is triplet, it is specific, it is degenerate, it is read in contiguous manner. The AUG is the initiator codon and it codes for methionine. Simple. Come to the next one. Problem 2. How many amino acids will be coded here? How many codons you can see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you write that they are going to code for 5 amino acids. Wrong answer. Wrong answer. It can't be that simple. Fine. See here. This one, UAA. This codon, UAA, it is a stop codon. This one is stop codon. It is saying stop. That means only two. These two will be coded, and the right answer is 2 amino acids. This is the correct answer. This is how you solve the problems based on this properties of genetic code. As you see that how the most difficult of the language written by nature on the pages of chromosomes, and nature laughed and thought that we won't be able to decipher it. We won't be able to find out the properties of genetic code. Then he was wrong. And human being with his intelligence has found out, deciphered the code and found out the properties of the genetic code. I hope this video was useful to you. The other molecule, the tRNA molecule, the adapter molecule, which was acting as mediator between mRNA and amino acid, of course we will take up a detailed study of it on our Monday session. Today is Saturday, so what about Sunday? Why not Sunday? Because our Sundays are very special and they are meant for concept building. They are the concept building sessions. See you tomorrow for concept building session, and on Monday we are going to discuss the tRNA molecule. If this video was helpful to you, then do like, subscribe and share it with your friends. Thank you for watching the video.